Hi, I'm Mark Strollo, and I'm here to talk to you about the Laredo fifth wheel. I've actually never been more excited to talk about a single product of ours than this Laredo. I'm going to go through all of its features, and I want to show you the floor plan. So follow me, and I'll get started. They actually say that the Laredo is #1 in turning radius in the industry. What that means is that when you have this hooked up to your truck, you can actually, in comparison to other models out there, you can actually turn your vehicle much more than you would with another fifth wheel. Very important feature. Really cool features up here. This is a pretty big deal. The Laredo storage compartment up front is actually like no other fifth wheel. You can access it from all three sides. If you notice how big your openings are, it's probably like 40 or 50% bigger than most of them out there. There's also a heat duct inside. Very few fifth wheels will have a heat duct into their storage compartment area. As you notice, there's no plumbing or no pipes hanging down to obstruct any of the view. Also is a great spot for your tools. And it kind of closes off, kind of like a hidden storage compartment. If you want to come around here, I'll show you. This is, take a look at that storage compartment. Where can you get a storage compartment that big in a fifth wheel this price point? Nearly impossible. Again, no pipes obstructing it. You could throw lawn chairs in there. You can throw bikes. I mean, heck, you can fit 3 or 4 bikes in there. Another really cool feature. This is actually one of my favorite. As you see, there's an outlet here for cable and a TV. So if you can kind of imagine this, we'd have 2 chairs here. This is actually wet bin storage. So you know what that means. As much beer you can fit in there is possible. And having your chairs here and maybe a TV here, it's fantastic. There's a little drain here, so you could fill this with ice and just keep that stocked with beer, soda, whatever you want for your whole camping trip. So just this storage area alone, you really want to think about this stuff when you're out comparing different fifth wheels. Like, for example, the Cougar, for example. Great fifth wheel. I hear a lot about it, but it actually doesn't have any of these things. So if you're out there comparing, it's important to kind of take some notes and really just take a good look and see if it actually has these things. So again, you have access from all 3 sides, which is awesome. I mean, literally, that you could actually fit multiple bicycles in there, all sorts of cool stuff. The other thing I want to tell you about is that the electric awning on this model is standard. Really cool feature. I know a lot of fifth wheels out there are doing that, but just wanted to mention to you, it does have electric awning and it is standard. Keep in mind, all these features that I'm telling you about, they come with it. It's actually standard. You don't have to pay for any of this. So what's real surprising is the price and all of these features that come with it. So I want to talk to you a little bit about the suspension system on the Laredo. It's actually pretty unique. All fifth wheels use a leaf spring suspension. This actually has what they call Equiflex suspension. It really comes down to how those leaf springs are held together. The typical fifth wheel will have metal shackles that hold your leaf springs together. This Equiflex suspension actually has rubber grommets in between each of your leaf springs. Unbelievable feature. It just makes for just a really, really smooth ride going up and down the road. Yeah, that Equiflex suspension, can't tell you enough about it. If you're taking long trips, maybe going to Alaska, maybe going down south, you don't know what type of roads you're on, you want that rubber grommet suspension system. Most of them just have metal shackles around your leaf springs. Also, aluminum wheels are actually standard. Some of the brands out there, like I had mentioned, like the Cougar, and so the reason why I mentioned that model is because that is another brand out there. So it's important that if you're shopping a couple different brands to take a look at these features. But aluminum wheels, they're actually standard. Most fifth wheels will actually do like metal wheels. So they rust and they have to be painted, and this is just really, really, really high end. So important feature, aluminum wheels. Oh, this is where we get to a lot of cool stuff. Keep in mind, as I'm going through all these features, these things are actually standard. Number one, you actually have a 30-inch entry door. I can't tell you enough about that. You're carrying baskets or anything inside and out, coolers. It's just that much easier. A lot of them have a 26-inch entry door. That's that much smaller. So it's something to think about. Also, the triple entry step, got to have it. Now, coolest thing in the world. The R value, or the insulation factor in this fifth wheel, is that of a higher end models like Cardinal or some of the really designers, some of the really, really high end models. This actually has more of insulation value. It actually has R29 in the roof, R30 in the sidewalls and I believe R9 in the floor. That's a really big deal. Now this ThermoShield is unbelievable. That the holding tank enclosure, in other words, all your holding tanks are an R37. And the reason why that is they wrap that in fiberglass insulation and like an astrofoil insulation. And I guess the best way to explain that astrofoil insulation is like a spacesuit, you know, type of material. Here's some cool features. I don't know if you can get a shot of this or not, but the underneath here, this is a standard feature. The stabilizer jacks here are actually, if you kind of see that there, how they're electric. So they go up and down just by the touch of a button. Like I was mentioning, the advantage here is that, you know, a lot of rear stabilizer jacks that aren't electric, just a touch of a button, you have to have a crank handle and kind of crank the stabilizer jacks down. Number one, those crank handles always, like they grow legs. They always get lost. So you don't want to get to your campsite and not have your crank handle with you. You have to go around and borrow one or something. But here, you just touch a button, the electric jacks go up and down. And there's no manual labor involved like a lot of them are. So that's a really, really big feature. And you would think that most fifth wheel manufacturers would make that standard because it's really not that expensive, but it's actually not the case. So standard here, though, in the Laredo are the electric stabilizer jacks. That's why I think the Laredo is probably the best buy out there for any fifth wheel. Even if you're considering, you know, $40,000, $50,000 fifth wheels, consider a Laredo. The features are unbelievable. The insulation value is nearly unmatched, and it's just they have the coolest floor plans. So, and you wouldn't believe the pricing on these. These are the type of fifth wheels where you can get payments in that $200 range, you know, in the mid 200s for all of this. So I'm going to keep going here, but this is really cool. Now you actually have. This is a storage rack, like a bike rack. You could put wood on there. You can put coolers. Who doesn't need extra storage space when they're camping? You absolutely need to have one of these things. Now, a lot of manufacturers will have this, but what happens is that they're manual. So you'd actually, instead of having to just, you know, hit the button inside and out, you actually have to struggle with it and kind of fight with it, and let's just hope it doesn't rust either, because that makes it even harder to pull out. So again, a lot of those, like the manufacturers I had mentioned before, either they don't have this or it's a manual type of operation. You can see how big this is. It's like, you know, you'd have to be you need a couple guys to help you move in and out, and God forbid if it has anything on it already, it's going to even make it more heavy. But again, just an electric bike rack and rear storage area. It's just the coolest thing in the world. Obviously, you can always use room for extra coolers, firewood, bikes, that kind of thing. So again, the Laredo, all these features, they're not optional, they're actually standard. So just an unbelievable value. As far as the rest of the back goes, that spare tire on the back is actually standard too. That's not something that you have to pay extra for. A lot of really cool features up here. Number one, your sewer hookup on this model, which is the 266, it's a double slide 26-footer. Unbelievable price. Actually, your sewer hookups are all above the wheels, so less risk of, a lot of models actually put their sewer hookups in the back end. Horrible design. This is very much designed the right way. Okay, there's no chance of this possibly breaking or cracking or anything like that. So this is kind of where you want your sewer hookup to be, in front of that rear wheel, just a less chance for any surprises. Really cool feature. Again, a lot of these models out there, Wildcat, Cougar, some of these other ones out there, they're not going to have these features. If they are, they're optional, but the tank flush. You really got to have a tank flush. I mean, it's not a pleasant thing to talk about, but you know, your holding tanks, if they're it could always run into problems like the monitor panels inside your trailer where that read the levels of your holding tanks, fresh water, gray water, black water. Some of them never quite seem to read right. And the reason for that is none of them have, most fifth wheels don't have a tank flush. So if you have a tank flush, there's less chance of your monitor panels reading inaccurately, and you certainly don't want that when you're talking about holding tanks for toilet water, sewer water, shower water, okay? This is going to keep everything clean and working properly, so you really want to have a tank flush system. It's a big deal. And that's actually standard with the Laredo. Again, it does have two slides, 26-footer. This has got two slides. Unbelievable value. Okay, the carpeting in the Laredo, awesome. They actually use the same carpet in the highest end Keystones that they make. It's the same quality carpet. So really cool feature. Now, this is pretty cool, and it's, I I want to show you this. This is pretty unique, and it's a lot of people think that, okay, you know, everybody has a hide-a-bed. Everybody has an air mattress hide-a-bed. Well, actually, no, they don't, because not like this one. Most of them you have to take off the air mattress, and I'll show you what I mean by that, and store it in this compartment. Okay, and it takes up all the space. This you actually you can use it for blankets, storage, all sorts of stuff. So when you're looking at fifth wheels, open up that compartment, and if you see that storage, the air mattress in there, it's not quite like the setup it should be. So anyway, what happens here is I'll show you. It's actually an electric air mattress. So it's all stores right in here neatly and not in that storage compartment. So you just plug it in, hit the button, it blows up to a queen-size bed. So great feature, but I think the nicest feature about it, and again, the reason why I'm telling you this is that a lot of these other ones don't have it, is that it's all right in there. So you don't have to use your storage space underneath. So again, that queen air mattress is standard on the Laredo. Great floor plan, the 266, which is this setup, is probably one of our best-selling floor plans. One, because it's 26 feet, and two, that's just a wide-open floor plan back here. Couple things. They do a really good job with the shades. A lot of manufacturers, even some that we carry, only have day shades. In other words, they're one tone. This is a two-tone shade day and night. There are some fifth wheels out there that are $50,000, $60,000 fifth wheels and only have, you know, one tone. You really want to have that because you can either have a room darkening or letting some light in if you wanted to. So you do have an automotive Jensen style home theater system, really cool setup, and a good sized TV. Okay, now some really cool features. And again, these are some features that are just nearly impossible to find in this price point. Again, this is the Laredo 266, and when you can get payments in the mid-twos, this is a fifth wheel you want to consider, especially having all these features. If you're looking at a lot of them out there, like we had mentioned a couple of the brands, the Wildcat, the Cougar, you know, you really kind of compare these different features, and I don't know how somebody could possibly not choose the Laredo, and that's why we sell so many of them. So if you are thinking about a specific floor plan, you'd want to let us know, and don't be afraid to give a call, and we can give you payments and prices right over the phone. They're very hard to get because they have features, floor plan, price all together. It's a hard fifth wheel to get a hold of. Most of the popular floor plans are almost impossible to get because, like I said, if you can get this at an awesome price and keep your payments in the mid-twos with all these features, you can see why they don't last. Actually has Corian countertops. I mean, to have Corian countertops in this price point, nearly impossible. So it's actually the Corian brand name too. It's not an off-the-wall brand name, and it's also got radius edges. I mean, this is beautiful. I don't have that in my house, so it's awesome. Really deep sinks, which are kind of like what they call 60/40 sinks. We were actually so we went to a big show recently, and we actually saw some sinks that actually, you know, didn't have a divider in the middle, or they were very shallow. So this is awesome. Again, Corian countertops, and if you can get a kind of a glimpse of that, it actually has the Corian symbol there. And the reason why that's an advantage, if you ever get any damage to it or color fading or anything like that, you can actually take it to any authorized Corian repair center or service center, and they can at least point you in the right direction in terms of repair or servicing. All of their fixtures, awesome feature. And I'm pointing this stuff out is because most of these fifth wheels out there don't have that. So when you're doing your shopping, really kind of look around. And there are a lot of good manufacturers out there. You know, a lot of, maybe some that are even comparable. But I guess the point of these videos is to really kind of get an idea of what some have and what some don't. And you can kind of make the decision as to where the value is. But this is actually real metal here. This is not plastic. This is not entry level. This is very, very high end. So you're going to want to find a fifth wheel or trail or something like that, but make sure it has good fixtures. I mean, this is the stuff that makes it look high-end, makes it worth more in the future. You'd want to have that. Moving right along here, this floor plan, again, is a 266 Laredo. Just a cool setup. Now we'll move right up into the bedroom here. And just up in their bedrooms, they really do their bedrooms beautifully. The very, very high-end wood. It's not entry-level stuff by any means. Lastly, or a couple things I also want to mention is I did forget one thing, but the brakes on the Laredo, very important feature because of safety and that type of stuff, but they actually use a 12-inch brake. A lot of fifth wheel manufacturers are just not using that at all. So that's very much something to consider, 12-inch brakes. But the features on the Laredo are unbelievable. One of the other features I want to mention too, just very important feature. Almost no fifth wheel manufacturer in this price point is going to have this. This is actually an 80-inch bed. It's 80-inch bed. Most fifth wheels actually, they only use 72, 74, 73, 76. You have, I mean, you want that extra space. It's about being comfortable when you're on the road. It's about having the little extra comforts, more home-like comforts when you're on the road. The Laredo provides that for you. It has all the features. It certainly has the price and has the back end of a great company, not only in our company, but Keystone itself. They're just a great company. Also, as you can notice, this is a flush floor up in the fifth wheel area, up in the bedroom area up here. So there's no step up. Once you get up into the bedroom, there's actually no step up into the bed area. A lot of fifth wheels, you come up here and then you have to step up again into the bed. This is very high end. Again, this is the 266, very popular setup. Extremely good quality and a ton of features. There's just so much storage. Just to kind of go over what we spoke about, just to kind of rehash a little bit. Again, the Laredo by Keystone, this is a 266. It clearly, to me, is one of the best values we've ever had in a fifth wheel. It has all these extra features: electric rear jacks, electric stabilizer jacks, rather. It has the electric bike rack in the back, not manual. It has solid surface Corian countertops. It has that beautiful storage area up in the front end with that unobstructed storage area. And of course, all sorts of extra little features too, like high-end fixtures. So if you have an interest, my only recommendation is to try and give one of the stores a call. You can usually find me at any of the stores. We can give you a price over the phone. We can give you payments over the phone. But like I said, surprisingly enough, all of this that you see in this fifth wheel, you can get payments in the mid-twos. Pricing is unbelievable. You can call the store. You can get most of this information right over the phone. The biggest thing is to try and get one as soon as you can. You can tow most of these with some of these with a half-ton truck, and so that's it. So great value. Just give any of the guys or girls a call at the store, and be happy to give you any additional information you need. I'm Mark Strollo. Thank you very much.